Viewers, just days ahead of Diwali, the centre is very concerned about interfaith harmony. Times Now's internal security editor Nikunj Garg has accessed a note issued to state governments by the centre that admits, perhaps for the first time in 6 years, that Hindu-Muslim ties are strained. In fact, the communique concludes that the number of communal clashes have spiked over the last 12 months. Yes, in just the last 12 months, there has been a spike in obvious tensions between the two communities. I'll take you through what this note says. It says that Hindu-Muslim ties are strained on account of several factors, and that there has been a hike in communal clashes and incidents over the last 1 year across Assam, Delhi, Haryana, Odisha, UP and Bengal. Nikunj Garg, what does the advisory you have access say, and what does the centre believe is leading to the deterioration in communal harmony in this country?
Well, Rahul, first of all, I must tell our viewers that it is almost customary for the centre at this point of time, because this is the biggest Hindu festival, the majority community festival that this country sees in the entire year, Diwali, that is happening. It's almost customary for the government of India to alert the states at this point of time, because specific focus is required for large religious congregations that almost every important town in the country sees. And with Pakistan's additional focus at this point of time, they obviously want to ward off any untoward situation. But what is highly unusual is that for the government of India, in a communication that it is sending to the states, specifically mention that between the majority community and the minority community in the country, across the country. Remember, this is an advisory that has gone to all the states and the union territories. So it is not specific to a particular state or any union territory. In fact, the note that you have also mentions those specific states where the communal incidents have seen in the recent times a big spike. So sending it to all the states and cautioning them that because of this strain in the Hindu-Muslim ties or the majority and the minority community ties, a conflagration of sorts can take place during the religious ceremonies, the large religious congregations that the country sees, is something highly unusual. And for the Ministry of Home Affairs to do it, all the more unusual, because at the end of the day, at the apex of this country's superstructure of governance, Ministry of Home Affairs is the custodian of the law and order in the country. Law and order, the internal security, is a shared responsibility between the government of states and the Ministry of Home Affairs. So that's highly unusual. And about the spike, quite clearly there are intelligence inputs that are indicating to the government of India, which is certainly cannot ignore at this point of time at such a sensitive moment. And that is why it has decided, this is obviously a very clear political decision taken, that the states must be alerted.
What, Nikunj, are the reasons for these escalating tensions according to the government?
Well, Rahul, intelligence agencies quite clearly believe that there are fissures in the polity at this point of time, that that Pakistanis and other forces that are inimical to the interest of the state and the harmony in the country would certainly want to exploit. Like, for example, this advisory itself mentions the abrogation of Article 370, which the Pakistanis are so keen to exploit at any given point of time, and wherever across the country they will get a chance, they will want to create discord, disharmony or strife on the streets, citing the agitation in the minds of some members of the minority community about the abrogation of Article 370, a special privilege treated by many for the Kashmiris as a reason for the conflagration. But there are multiple reasons cited. More importantly is, Rahul, it is quite clearly the stream of intelligence input that has come to the center in the last 40 odd days. This is prepared in a good 30-35 odd days in advance to the festivals. That has forced the center's hand to at least caution the states that do not take this strain lightly. It can result in some kind of conflagration between the communities, which will certainly not be in the interest of any administration, be it at the government of India level or at the state level.
Thanks indeed, Nikunj. Stay on with us. I just want to open this out, very, very important, viewers, because this particular admission is in stark contrast to the stand taken by the government in the past when it has been questioned on Hindu-Muslim relations and whether they are actually deteriorating. Here are some hard facts up front, viewers, that you can glance through, important points. In the past, the government has been very, very clear when it has been quizzed on whether the Sabka Saath and Sabka Vikas is actually working on the ground. And this is what it has said. No factual basis for this, i.e. India losing its secular image. This was the centre's reply in the Rajya Sabha in unstart question number 3571. There you can see it clearly. Also, in the past, the centre has replied once again in the Rajya Sabha saying government is committed to constitutional values and laws, and therefore in this country we are not seeing the deterioration in communal harmony. Also, in response to when elements of the civil society have pointed out to increased strain between Hindus and Muslims, the government has said incidents of communal violence show a declining trend. This was the centre's reply in the Rajya Sabha to start question number 332. So all of these replies are contradicting what many people say today the centre is admitting in sending out these advisories. Let's just open this out and ask some basic questions. And I want to begin with you, MC Abbas. Direct question. The reasons why certain communities are feeling alienated is because of Article 370, it is because of the NRC, and most importantly, it is also because of the entire conversation around the criminalization of triple talaq. Now, Ashutosh, do you think
absolutely
individuals in civil society, MC Abbas, maybe you can answer this first, have been speaking irresponsibly about these issues?
Yes. Rahul Shivshankar Sahab, that's a very apt summarization that you've made, and certainly yes, I also agree with Mr. Nikunj Garg. Abrogation of Article 370, criminalizing of triple talaq for the men, for the Muslim men, and also so many so on so forth have played major roles in Hindu-Muslim ties. Firstly, here it is the NDA which is denied in the past. Also, I would say it is the pot which is calling the kettle black. It is the NDA, the National Democratic Alliance and its allies, along with the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has been dividing the Hindu-Muslim votes and garnering the Hindu majority because it plays well on them. As a matter of fact, in the democracy, it's a number game, and they know the consolidation of Hindu votes will swing the ways for them. Therefore,
are you suggesting that the opposition doesn't play appeasement politics? No, are you giving a clean chit to the opposition today? Look at the fear psychosis in the commentary around these important reforms that have been undertaken. Article 370, people have cast it as being anti-Muslim. Why should the opposition be saying something as bizarre as this? And by doing so, what is the message you are sending out? You had an instance where a lawyer in the Supreme Court has torn up documents that were supposed to further the claims of one community. What is the message you are sending out?
Firstly, the gentleman we mentioned here about is Senior Advocate Rajiv Dhawan, and he did so with the permission of the CJI. And the next point that I'd like to derive here, it is the political parties which play the divide. एक महान कवि ने बहुत अच्छी तरह से कहा है कि ना हिंदू बुरा है ना मुसलमान बुरा है, जो करता बुराई वो इंसान बुरा है. और यहाँ पे बुराई कौन करता है? ये राजनीतिक पार्टियां. These political parties have played a major role in straining the Hindu-Muslim ties.
Okay.
Let it be during the Indian Lok Sabha elections of 2019.
Okay.
Or like we mentioned, even the NRC. Why do the minority feels left out, especially the Muslims, is my question.
Okay. Jeevan Narasimha Rao.
Yeah, Rahul, I think I find it farcical when people start looking at abrogation of Article 370 through a religious prism. I think you are actually doing a great disservice to the minorities of this country. Why would Muslims in this country have anything to do with Article 370? And why would Muslims in UP or Tamil Nadu or Andhra or anywhere, Maharashtra, why would they be worried about NRC? Even Muslims in Assam, even the native Muslims in Assam favor NRC. Even they want illegal deportation of illegal immigrants, most of them from the Muslim community. So I think to place this as a religious issue is certainly, I think, an attempt by parties which play vote bank politics. As far as this circular is concerned, or a memo to the states that you mentioned, I am not privy to it, so I cannot therefore comment on this. But as Nikunj said, this is festival season, and certainly such circulars go out to maintain the communal harmony. That's a very
but in the circular, sir, there is an admission.
I think if you look back,
what is very important is an admission. Now, this is gone out by the MHA. Which is headed by Mr. Amit Shah, and it says overall Hindu-Muslim communal scenario has remained strained. Increase in number of communal incidents involving Hindu and Muslims, especially in January 1st, 15th October 2019 compared to corresponding 2018. This includes Assam, Delhi, Haryana, Orissa, UP and West Bengal. Communal incidents over bursting of firecrackers, provocative slogans, loudspeakers, donations, idols at disputed sites, these happen, but overall, Hindu-Muslim communal scenario has remained strained. Now, this is very, very serious acknowledgement and admission. Who are you putting
Rahul,
the blame at?
No,
whose door?
Rahul, I cannot vouch. Number one, I cannot vouch for this circular, whether it was indeed sent out, whether it was vetted at responsible levels. I'm sorry, I cannot.
So you're distancing yourself from the circular?
Number two, there is an attempt by the neighbor. There is an attempt by the neighboring country to either perpetrate terror in this country as a result of their frustration. Pakistan is trying every trick in the book to somehow create either instability in India. There are certainly attempts by our hostile neighbor to create religious divide and to create some kind of disharmony. So certainly a circular to maintain alarm is certainly in order.
Ashutosh, isn't that,
tell me
isn't that important, the government recognizing that there is a breakdown in communal harmony and warning? Warning, it's being responsive. It is saying that, look, please be careful. There is an attempt being made to incite passions. Relations are being strained because of these attempts. How do you respond?
So when Mr. Narasimha Rao says that he does not vouch for this circular and whether it has been vetted, I hope this circular does not turn out to be a dog whistle for agent provocateurs to poison the atmosphere. I mean, over the last few months, we have seen that there have been efforts, sometimes subtle, sometimes blatant, to poison the communal harmony. And when the Prime Minister of India is campaigning,
where have these come from?
Tries to paint
who is responsible for this?
Opposition party as a Muslim party.
But who is responsible for this?
When the Prime Minister of India says,
Ashutosh,
a particular,
at least MC Abbas put the blame on both political outfits.
He himself says that we are a Muslim party.
The fish rots from the top.
Who are you to speak differently?
It's rotting from the head. It's rotting from the head.
No, Rahul Gandhi himself admitted.
When Mr. Modi says a particular constituency, the main opposition leader is going and fighting the election there because the minorities are in majority. Now, who is poisoning it? Of course, I mean, it's Mr. Modi.
So it's only the NDA to blame? It's only the BJP to blame?
Why do you have to? Why do you have to?
Mr. Awasthi wants to come in.
Historically, there is only one party which benefits by creating such situations.
The Hindus are sick and tired of the appeasement politics of the Congress party. The Congress party led by Rahul Gandhi and now Sonia Gandhi is now gravitating towards the minority community.
there are more votes against you than in your favor. Please do not try to paint yourself as a representative of Hindus.
Everybody
there
knows
are
that,
more
Mr.
people
Mishra. Don't be an apologist for this communal politics.
Don't represent
Don't
Hindus.
be an apologist for this communal politics. When people like Asaduddin Owaisi, who threatened Taslima Nasreen with death,
no, let me ask.
Let me ask. Secular media, the people of India are also watching.
Let me ask first, 1 second, gentlemen, let's not go at each other's throats. This is a very important, very sensitive issue tonight that we are discussing. Now, 1 minute.
Run down Hindus.
1 second, listen. Listen, Ashutosh, rise above the debate.
No longer unwilling to be
okay, Mr. Avasthi, calm down. 1 minute, 1 second, please, allow me to come in. Very sensitive issue.
No.
1 minute, sir.
Hindus still want Gandhi to be father of nation.
Mr. Ashutosh.
He is still the Rashtrapita.
Ashutosh, relax, calm down. Allow me, just allow me. We'll come back to what you're saying. It's very important that we actually concede a couple of points. Number one, I want to bring back Nikunj very quickly into this. Nikunj, the BJP says that they can't vouch. They don't know at what level this particular notice has been issued, who has vetted it, if at all, what the other related issues are to authenticate this particular advisory. Can you illuminate us on this, please?
Well, absolutely, Rahul. These advisories are sent, vetted at the highest levels in the administration, in the Ministry of Home Affairs. So this would not have been issued without the approval of the Union Home Secretary at the level of the Ministry of Home Affairs and Director Intelligence Bureau at the level of Intelligence Bureau. And I can certainly say, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao knows, I am not somebody who's going to produce something from thin air and put it for a broadcast. This has absolutely gone. And as I have said, that this is as a matter of routine, advices are sent prior to this season, but what is highly unusual is that Government of India is cautioning the states that look here, there is a absolutely serious reason right now at this moment to watch out for any conflagration in the communal situation in the country, because the ties between the majority and the minority communities are strained. And
so it's an admission.
And some may try to take advantage of this situation.
Okay, so let me ask you, GVL Narasimha Rao, before I open this out further, by admitting that relations between Hindus and Muslims are strained, has the NDA acknowledged that it has failed to deliver on the promise of Sabka Saath and Sabka Vishwas? We have a problem here.
No, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. No, can
Vishwas.
I just allow me to make my point?
Vishwas.
Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is Sabka Vishwas is being equal-handed as far as every section of the society is concerned. So from the government's perspective, there has never been any discrimination in whatsoever manner concerned. But then there are certain forces in this country and even in the neighborhood which want to keep which want to create these divisions and want to benefit from them. So certainly this, if this advisory has been sent out, the overarching objective of this is to caution the police everywhere in the country to look out for any kind of troublemongers and try and arrest any such untoward incident. The overall intent would be that. So I think there is nothing like this is not a research report that is being put out to,
One second, Dr.
to
Halim.
give an overall state of affairs.
Okay, Dr. Halim, the government says it's responsive, it recognizes, it doesn't sweep anything under the carpets. It is doing this in public interest. And therefore, I want to ask you, who is sabotaging Sabka Saath and Sabka Vishwas? And can the opposition today, that has indulged in the politics of appeasement, wash its hands off totally?
Well, Rahul, I think so. It's very clear that if given the opportunity, the government would definitely have swept this information below the carpet. The unfortunate part is that somehow this document has been created with the actual facts on the ground, which could not have been swept under the carpet. And I sincerely believe that this document has actually put in perspective what is the reality and what is going on the ground. So facts speak for themselves. The number of communal incidents have gone up. Now, there is no two ways denying that fact. The Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't want to take responsibility. That's
Halim?
another story
How
altogether.
many
Because the Bharatiya
large-scale
Janata
communal
Party
riots have
generally
taken
does not
place?
want to take
Has
responsibility
something
for
like the
what's going
Delhi
on in India
massacre
at this
taken
point of
place?
time.
Has something like the Gujarat riots of 1969 taken place? Has something like the post-Babri Masjid riots in Mumbai taken place? What are you talking about, sir? The fact is that there are people like you whose politics
Rahul,
thrives on the blood that is
if I
spilled
can
of the Muslim
patiently
community.
listen to people,
So
if somebody
that is
else wants,
something- this
Don't-
is
don't
something
cut
that
him
the
off.
Home Ministry has recognized.
Dr. Halim is
And
responding.
people like-
Listen.
And people
Listen,
like
1
the
minute.
political party which is full of agent provocators.
Raghav Avasthi, calm down. 1 minute. Let him finish his point. You can respond to him. Yes. Doctor, go ahead. Make your point quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so. No, you can give my time to Raghav Avasthi. We are not dying for time on your channel. You invite us, we speak. But if you feel that people can interrupt and can disrupt the train of thought, then I think so that's a very unfortunate representative of the BJP who actually wants to sweep the facts below the carpet. And these are the ways in which, you know, on live what you call television, they would like to sweep facts under the carpet. Otherwise, in government, they would like to sweep facts under the carpet. But facts do speak for themselves. The people who have experienced the incidences, they themselves know about it, and somewhere willy-nilly these facts are going to represent themselves in government what you call statements and documents. So willy-nilly this fact has come across that India is far more polarized now as compared to when the BJP inherited India, not only in terms of 2014 but also in terms of 2018 vis-a-vis 2019. So the polarization is definitely, and the communal incidences are escalating, not in comparison with the government that existed before Narendra Modi, but in his own regime also. So that is something that the Bharatiya Janata Party may choose to answer, may not choose to answer.
But why is it
and
happening?
It's very clear that they
Dr.
don't want
Halim,
to
why
choose
is it
to answer
happening?
because they
Why
would
the
like to go
breakdown?
into the veracity of the document. They would
Isn't
like to
it the
go
nature
into
of
the veracity
politics?
of what's going on into things.
Both
and
sides
they would like to
communalizing,
establish what
playing
is
to
happening.
galleries.
But
I'm asking you.
no, both sides at the moment, I think so. It's the government document that you should be questioning.
Yeah,
Rahul,
but it says-
you can choose not to question the government document and choose not to ask the relevant questions to the government.
Listen,
because the government is actually in power.
Dr.
They are
Halim,
the leading force in society.
there are two
They
causes
they
for
are
this.
the force that decide the contours
Rahul.
and the subtleties of how Indian social behavior between communities and
Okay,
between
so
individuals
the blame
reflect
is
themselves.
entirely, so
you may
you're saying
choose
the
not to
blame
ask
for this
question. You may
deterioration
choose
is
the
entirely
opposition, you know.
the government, for the government to answer. Okay, Nikunj, 1 second before I go back to Dr.
This is a year
One
on
second.
year comparison, Rahul.
Yeah,
This
okay.
is 2018 being compared to 2019.
Okay, so it's
Now, if
only
you
the
want to say
government.
the opposition is playing
Nikunj,
a
only the
huge
government
role
to
in
blame,
Indian civil
says the
society,
opposition. The left
and
parties are saying it's
opposition's words
only
are being
because of the
accepted, then I
government.
disagree with you.
Is the onus only on the government? Does it devolve only upon the government? Very quickly.
Well, Rahul, two small points I'll
The
try to
BJP,
make.
the
One,
Bharatiya Janata Party, the RSS conglomerate and their activities in government.
Okay, their activities. Okay, go ahead.
Rahul, two quick points I will want to make. No administration, be it at the central government level or at the state government level, ever wants communal riots to happen. So therefore, to blame the administrations in such a situation is, I think, a self-defeating assertion. Number one. Number two, the fact is, these are not facts, something willy-nilly recorded. There is a process of vetting the facts, that it has been properly documented, it has been sent out to the states. So you, at this point, on this occasion, you certainly cannot, allege that the administration, the government of India is trying to brush the facts
Rahul.
under the carpet. That certainly is not the
Okay,
position at this
GVL
point.
Narasimha wants to come in. He wants to respond to the left. Yes, GVL Narasimha, the blame is at your door. The left says, these are the people, RSS types, etc., etc.
No, Mr. Fuad Halim should tell this, should admit to the people of this country, should apologize to the Muslims of West Bengal for keeping them so backward and so poor all through their 25 years or 30 years of rule. Is it not a fact that communist
communal
rule states,
incidences.
the Muslims
GVL,
in the
could you come to
communist
the
rule
topic at
West
hand?
Bengal remain the poorest? You have deceived them. You have deceived them, and you have used them as a vote bank. And today you want
That's
to
why
you
in
want to preach to us.
2019, the all
I think
India
there is a
incidences
difference
of communal,
between communal
what you call,
incidents
events
and
have
communal
increased.
riots. Rahul, you should
Okay.
look at Now, incidents are defined as any kind of skirmish
I have
is
a
an
question
incident.
to ask Mr. Rao.
No communal riot where more than 100 people have been killed happened in the last 6 years. Show me any government in independent
GBL,
India.
are you actually
where
wanting the nation
several
to
such
believe
incidents have
that
not happened?
communist
Several
rule in
such
West
riots have not
Bengal,
happened.
which ended in
This
2011,
government
is
ensured that there
responsible
was
for the
no
national
communal riot
increase and
where-
escalation of communal
where such a large
incidences
number of victims got killed. That's a success for this
in
government.
2019.
I can name any number of incidents, communal riots during the Congress rule. Every 5 years, there used to be dozens of such incidents where hundreds of people died from both the faiths. But today you have not had a one single
I
riot
understood
of
that,
that
GBL.
magnitude.
In
So certainly that goes to
2019,
the
why
So,
did the
would you be,
number of
Mr.
communal incidences
Rao,
increase? That's the question.
Would you be...
Compare it with 2018.
That,
MC
I think
Abbas.
you should understand
Alright,
the
sir.
nomenclature.
I'd like to bring a notice.
No, no.
Incident does not
All right.
necessarily
Mr.
mean
Rao,
any kind
Mr.
of
Rao,
any
Who
kind
is
of
provoking
casual-
whom here? 1 minute. I want to bring you in. MC Abbas,
in
look.
the recent... I have a question.
No, 1 second. MC Abbas, when is the opposition also going to come out and put up its hand? Look, there was a big reform undertaken by Parliament, and that reform was to criminalize triple talaq. Look at the commentary by the opposition. Oh, that you're persecuting Muslim men. We forgot about the poor Muslim women who on the back of instant triple talaq, their human rights were completely shattered, but it was of no concern. A fear psychosis was whipped up. It will create a sense of victimhood, a backlash. Would it not?
Rahul Shivshankar Sahab, it is, but there were no provisions. Let's understand. It's not, the opposition did not make the claim only for persecuting of Muslim men, but also as a matter of fact, where is the provisions made for the Muslim women? There is no talaq take place, no divorce. The man goes to jail, but what about the provisions for women? That was also a point of objection there. The one point that I'd like to derive here is in the recent
exists even for the
NRC
Hindus.
why is lynching? Lynching has no place, but we have anti-national elements. You have an anti-national elements crime, but whereas when it comes to the NCR, in accordance with that, lynching, there is absolutely no rule or law for that. May I ask Narasimha Rao ji why? And also, why does your BJP leader Garland, why does your BJP leader Garland lynch accused?
People like you who are shameless Islamists,
Why does your
don't
BJP
think Hindu
leader
blood is as
Garland
valuable
lynch
as
accused?
Muslim blood, and that
Your
has
actions,
changed.
Okay,
and
calm
your
down.
leaders' actions of your
Calm down,
party
calm down. Let's not get into this hysteria.
Hindu and
They are
Muslim.
unwilling to subject
1 minute,
themselves to the
gentlemen,
Islamic
gentlemen, 1
Junior
second,
High.
wait a minute.
And you have to understand that they are willing to stand up for themselves.
1 second. Raghav Avasti,
You're not
what are you
answering
trying to
your
I'm
say?
question,
really
sir.
sorry.
What are you
I'm
saying?
really
Raghav
sorry.
Avasti, what are you
I'm
saying?
blinded by your hatred of Hindus.
No, 1
This
second.
is the truth.
1 second. And
This
one
man is
second.
blinded
No,
by
no,
his
no,
1
hatred.
second.
absolutely not.
Raghav Avasti,
There is
1
no
second.
hatred of Hindus. You are running away from my question.
1 second. What is
Yes,
your
he
question?
hates
1
Hindus.
second.
That
Avasti,
is
listen
why
to the
he
question.
didn't care.
MC
When
Abbas.
Kashmiri Pandits were being killed, when people like
Okay,
Ankit
here's the
Saxena were
question.
killed, he didn't care. He didn't
Sir,
care a damn.
What,
And he cares
what do you
now
have to say
because there are some
to your
isolated
BJP
incidents.
leader?
The reason why he hates the
Garlanding lynch
BJP because the
accused?
BJP is a party
Look,
which does
there
not
is a
practice
point-
judgment.
Garland
And
1
which
minute,
does
1 second.
not
Viewers, I
speak
need to step in here.
as
Look,
if there are some sort of
look,
gods on
1
earth.
second. Viewers, the government has acknowledged that there is a problem, that relations between two communities are worsening. In fact, the strains have deepened over the last 12 months. These are facts that have been put out by the government. Now, why is the government doing this? The government is doing this to alert the nation that there is a plot to divide us as a society. And if we are going to continue to play into the hands of those without calling them out who are trying to divide this country, then we become part of the problem. We become accomplices, viewers, accomplices. And therefore, Ashutosh, I want to ask you today, you put a hand on your heart and you say that you don't agree with me when I say that both sides have added to this problem by playing appeasement politics. But a sense of victimhood.
Rahul, you are
No, what Rahul? I'm saying, am I saying something wrong?
Rahul, you are
Is my honesty beginning to hurt you?
You are confusing government with the ruling party. You are confusing government with the ruling party, which is trying to stay in power by hook or by crook. Let's take the Kamlesh Tiwari murder case. The family says that that Mr. Tiwari was killed by a local BJP leader because of some fight over money on who will control the temple.
Look, 1 second.
But
Ashutosh,
the UP government
Ashutosh, don't do this tonight. Don't do this tonight. You are lighting up. No, you are lighting up power keg. Now, 1 minute. Don't do this tonight. I will not allow you to do this tonight. You are inciting tension. Put him down. I'm sorry. I won't allow you, sir. I'll reduce your fader. The point of the matter is that this is an under investigation case. Don't jump to conclusions. Tomorrow someone will stand up and say in the Katwa case, the SIT today has been faulted. What will you say about that? Tomorrow somebody will get up and say in the Malegaon case, the wrong people were arrested, etc., etc. Are we all going to sit here on national TV night after night, fanning each other's victimhood? I think it's highly irresponsible. The government is trying something, Mr. Ashutosh, tonight. And I want to bring in Nikunj. Nikunj, bring some sanity back to this debate before I move on.
Rahul, one quick point I must tell our viewers that
if panelists begin to act like trolls, we have a problem here. Yes, Nikunj.
One quick point. The fact is that maintenance of law and order is the ultimate responsibility of state governments. So do not fault the central government where their fault does not lie. And some of the states mentioned there, West Bengal, Odisha, Delhi, are all non-BJP ruled states. And I must tell this to our viewers because that's a fact which is an inalienable part of the story. So I can't present half the story to our viewers. Central government is not the custodian of law and order. It's the state government, and some of the states where these incidents are happening or showing a very big spike are non-BJP ruled states.
Well, there you go. So you have to begin to ask yourself, who is actually fanning all of this?
National
MC Abbas, you can't ignore these facts tonight. Let's all resolve to keep the fringe out. Night after night. Night after night. I mean, we have someone like Ashutosh who's raising the Kamlesh incident now. That is a case of vigilantism. I don't care about the religion of the person.
And I have raised one
No,
more.
don't be irresponsible tonight. Don't be irresponsible, sir. Don't be irresponsible.
West Bengal
Grow up.
and Delhi.
You're playing with communal incidents.
Which always gains
Stop,
by
stop, sir, stop. It was not the
religious
BJP
divide,
that gave, it was not the BJP that gave 1 second incentives along communal lines. That gave incentives, that gave SOPs and incentives along communal lines in its state. It was not the BJP, it was Mamata Banerjee. So please, stop this. I will not accept this tonight. The point is, viewers, and I'm lowering everyone's faders, One India is under threat. The government, through its affidavits, through its notice, its advisory, has told states, be careful. We have a severe problem on our hands. Now, all of you out there listening to this broadcast can either get swayed by some of these trolls, also that exist on social media, get swept up in the irresponsible political rhetoric that is turned out nightly by politicians, or you hold them to account when they step out of line, viewers. I suggest that you do the latter. Start interrogating politicians who don't want to talk about issues but whip up communal sentiments. Press the nota. Vote them out. File cases. The time has come. Enough is enough. We'll take a short break.